We came here to document the efforts to rehabilitate the old PU tower in Phillipsburg. It's been ongoing since 2007. I got involved into this project. I called the mayor, and I looked down here one day, and I saw it all overgrown and the place boarded up and vandalism all over, and I thought, what a waste of resources that the town had here. And I gave the mayor a call, and I asked him if he would help me out, giving me a piece of equipment to come down here and clean the area up. He agreed. I called Pete Turp, asked him if there was something here that I should know about, that I didn't want to dig up and kind of ruin something. So he told me to give Rocky a call, and he would be the person to talk to about what was here. So I did that. We had conversations, and that was the beginning of it all. We cleared, took most of that year up till December to clear the vegetation and growth around the building down here in a big pile, and the town came and helped out and hauled it away. The outside, once it was cleaned up, piled up and hauled away, then we started working on the building, removing the vines from the building, from the pipe pits around it. Trees had grown up on the top of the building. The vines were actually up inside the building, and then we pulled that out. That was almost a whole year, well, almost a year and a half before we even opened the doors up, took the boarded up doors. That was the next project, to put the doors on the place. And the next project was the roof. Rocky and myself felt that if this project was ever going to go anywhere, the roof had to be done, because the water, every time it rained, it came in like a faucet inside. Bids went out for the roof. It was quite a bit of cost because of the replacing the slate and the copper flashing, and downspouts and gutters were all put back on as copper. That roof was around a $22,000, $23,000 project. But we got that roof put on, and then we felt comfortable about doing the work on the inside. Took out several truckloads after truckload of garbage and trash that was inside. Rocky had told me that there was some machinery that had been left in there, and I thought that would be good, and at least something was there. He had quite a few pieces that he managed to get out of the building before the vandals, and since Rocky died, that's in his estate now. And we've been in contact with his heirs from his estate, and hopefully they'll proceed with his wishes. The long-range plan for the tower was to get the table working upstairs and to put some displays out here of switching and signals that could be actuated from the tower inside. It would be an operating system. These are the two air compressors. They are National Brake and electric air compressors from 1923. These seem to have run into the 60s, supplying air, either one or the other. Looks like they had robbed parts off to keep this one. Looks like the last one that had been running. I'm in contact with the last operator upstairs, Red Cahill. He was the last guy to lock the door up. And he's been down, looked the place over, and shook his head. He said everything was here when he left. The control panel over here was the power distribution panel. This was the control panel for the two air compressors. This was added after 1923. This is the control panel for the Matthews emergency generator set. Motor-wise, both me and Rocky feel that we'd like to get this running. This is a Leroy tractor engine. The motor on the back is a motor generator. They actually used the motor to turn the engine over. Once the engine got running, the motor would be into the generator phase, and that was all controlled by that panel. The panel itself, there was a lot of knife switches were down in this area here. These were the meters, the gauges. Rocky said he had everything to replace it. The next thing we started to work on was the steel work in here. The back part of the roof had leaked so much, the steel work had to be descaled. We descaled the steel work in here. The paint There was paint all over everything in here, and I called in a couple of people to give us prices for sandblasting and brick in here and upstairs. It was in excess of $30,000, so we borrowed a small blasting unit and got the town's compressor and did it myself. The woodwork in here was actually southern pine, and the blast agent had taken quite a bit of the old paint off, so I continued to do so. And we varnished the woodwork up and kept it as woodwork. We were able to save all the windows in the building except that one. That one's a fake window that I had put up for the weather and to make it just look nice until we get one made. We got estimates of over $1,000 to have one made out of the southern pine the way it was. And I felt good that we had saved the other windows in the building, both down here and upstairs. The whole bottom of the bathroom in this area over in here was totally rotted out. Over around and to the front here, I took all the existing wall out and mitered in support beams underneath so that we could replace the wall. The tongue and groove is period to the date that the building was built, but it was not. It was all stucco all the way down, sand finish. The toilets, they were smashed. We had taken them out. This is the original type of sink. I was fortunate enough to find one that somebody had that resembled the old one that was in there, and that has been put back in place. The toilets that was in here, there was the marks that were up on the wall suggested that the originals had the water closet hanging on the wall with the old pool string on it, but that had been replaced over the years with a standard type toilet that was in there. All the place has been painted. All the old wiring in the electrical system has been pulled out, new wiring's put in. We got wires hanging out of ceiling boxes there for waiting for new lighting. The town has ordered period lighting that was in here, the old schoolhouse lighting, both inside and outside the building, to the tune of $5,000 worth of lighting. We replaced the sewer line outside. There's over 200 feet of that we did. The old sewer line in here was still good yet, so we put all new over into the town's main. Emergency battery packs were on this pedestal, this concrete pedestal here, and they had rotted, so we made a new rack for it. The original building was heated from a boiler house that was on the other side of the roundhouse. All the buildings down here were heated by steam. Once they tore down the powerhouse over there, they were still operating the tower. They had a boiler sitting in the middle of the floor here. And outside they had an old fuel tank that sat out there. And then it was oil-fired boiler, which was not an original, but that's what replaced the powerhouse. The town got piping for me to make the handrails out of. These steps here, they came from Atlantic States. The steel work here, that come from the fabricating company up there, State Line Fabricating. The only thing that's original is the A-frames underneath. The riveted A-frames are what was here from day one. How you like the sandblasted woodwork? Is it a shame to cover up something like this?
Yeah. I always like to know.
Lock sets, they all came from the antique place, and I fitted them for the doors. They're all functional. The building inside was all sandblasted or grit blasted. The woodwork was grit blasted. That was all cleaned up and pulled out, and then we started working on the windows. We was fortunate enough to save all the windows, and we have them all operational. They're all functional. This was the operating table. Again, Rocky and Ed said they had enough to rebuild it and make it operational. All the brass handles, the switching handles are gone. All the gauges, indication lights and all, they're gone. But he said he had the stuff to rebuild it. Actually, there's 3 feet of this table that's missing. Somebody had taken 3 feet of it off at one time or another and carried it out. Those pictures I sent you was the operator was sitting and was sitting right here. This was his desk, his main desk where he operated. Richie Baton donated the use of a man lift that allowed us to repaint all the soffits and the work on the windows. That was a whole summer. But I built the road out front, down to the station for access, because the way it was, they dug out the tracks and there was nothing out in front. The building went right straight down to the tracks. All that you see there, all this stone out front, that was all. I put all that in there, all the way down to the train station. Hopefully one day that'll be all hooked together.